Welcome to CSEGuru. In this session, we will discuss the difference between call by value and call by reference technique. Already in the previous session, we have discussed call by value and call by reference technique with example. Now, in this session, we will differentiate the call by value and call by reference technique. First difference, when a function is called, the values of variables is passed. Okay, here in call by value technique, the actual parameter will send values to the formal parameter. In call by reference, when a function is called, variable addresses are passed. Okay, so here the actual parameter will send the address of the variables to the formal parameter. So here in call by value, it will send values. In call by reference, it will send the address of variables. For example, if you are considering, so this is function call and this is the called function. So here in function call, the A and B are nothing but the actual parameters. The actual parameters will send values to formal parameters. So the value of A is copied to variable X and value of B will be copied to variable Y in formal parameters. So in call by value of the variables will be sent. In call by reference, if you are considering, the address of the actual parameters will be sent to the formal parameters, not values. The memory location where the variable value is stored, that address will be sent to the formal parameters. So this is the first main difference. Second difference if you are considering in call by value, the data type of both formal parameter and actual parameter should be same. Okay. So the data type of the actual parameter as well as the formal parameter should match. This already we know the rule, right? The data type and the number of parameters should match in function declaration, function call, and function header of function definition. Similarly, in call by reference also, the data type should match in formal parameter and actual parameter. But here we are considering in the sense, the formal parameter should be declared as pointers. Okay, because we are sending the address of actual parameter variables to the formal parameter. So, the formal parameter to refer its address, what is the value stored, the formal parameter variable should be declared as pointers. Okay, this is the second difference. And the third difference if we are considering, in call by value, the formal parameters contain copied value of actual parameter. Okay, so what is the value of the actual parameter variables that will be copied? Copied means one more memory location will be created for formal parameter variables, and in that memory location, the value will be copied. Okay, so in call by value, the actual parameter variable values will be copied to formal parameters. Okay, in call by reference, if we are considering, formal parameter will contain address of actual parameter, just the address. That is, here the actual parameter will send its address to the formal parameter. So here the address location of formal parameter and the actual parameter both will be same. That is, both formal and actual parameter share the same memory location. But here if you are considering, actual parameter variables will be stored in different memory location and formal parameter variables will be stored in different memory location. But a copy of actual parameter will be stored in the formal parameter memory location. Okay, so this is the third difference. And fourth difference if you are considering, changes in the formal parameter in the called function will not affect the actual parameter in the calling function. Okay, since actual parameter will send a copy of its variable values to the formal parameter. So whatever the manipulations it is done with the formal parameter variables, it does not affect the original value of the actual parameter. The actual parameter variables will be retained and it is protective. Okay, so any accidental changes does not affect the original value of the actual parameter. But in call by reference, if you are considering, the changes in the formal parameter is reflected in the actual parameter, because the actual parameter and formal parameter shares the same memory location where the variables are stored. Okay, so if formal parameter changes the value or alters the value in this sense, that definitely will affect the actual parameter variables also, because both shares the same memory location. Okay, so formal parameters indirectly changes the actual parameter values in call by reference. This is fourth difference. Next, in call by value, execution is slow because need to copy all the values into formal parameter. Since actual parameter sends a copy of the variable values to the formal parameter, formal parameter separately it needs to create or allocate separate memory location to store the variable values. Okay, so to store the variable values of actual parameters, we need to create separate memory location. Again, to store the values of formal parameter variables, we need to create separate memory location. So, two different memory locations should be created to store the same variable values only. Because actual parameter will send a copy to its formal parameter. But we need to allocate two different memory locations. Okay. So, time was wasted in allocating the memory location for the actual parameter separately as well as for the formal parameter separately. So, here if you are considering, execution is comparatively slow. In call by reference, if you are considering, execution is fast, since the actual parameter and formal parameter shares the same memory location. Okay, so only one time memory location will be allocated. But in call by value, if you are considering, two different memory locations will be allocated separately and time is wasted in that. Okay, even memory is also wasted in call by value. So in call by value, execution is slow. In call by reference, execution is fast. The next difference if we are considering, the call by value technique is the default method used in many programming languages like C, C++ and all. This call by value method is the default method. Okay. But in call by reference, if you are considering, it is only a theoretical concept. Practical implementation is very, very less. And this call by reference is supported only in Java. So these are all the main differences between call by value and call by reference techniques. So in this session, we have discussed the difference between call by value and call by reference technique. In the next session, we will discuss scope of variables, that is local scope and global scope. Thank you for watching this video.